Hello again. This is Majin, and I'm here with another Robert Storms, aka Storm Sync video, where he pretty much pulls a Dragon Ball Evolution on the Suicide Squad. It's pretty hilarious. Let's get started.
On it. But the most important thing, let's talk about Suicide Squad. I just got done seeing it for the third time, and look, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I think this might be my favorite movie of the year. I'm not saying it's the best movie of the year by any means. I do think there's better movies with higher, better quality films, better made films that came out this year. But Suicide Squad is just a movie that it's the funnest movie this year for me.
That's funny. I remember it a different way.
This is a movie that I liked, but this was not a good movie. I mean, I just enjoyed it. You guys seen my reviews. You know I had problems with the first hour of the film. Second viewing had less problems with the first hour of the movie. The third time I seen it, even less problems I had with the first half of this movie. And I just love the hell out of this film. Sure, it still has some issues, but I overlooked those issues for the fact that I just had a blast watching this movie. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang is one of my favorite characters in this movie. He really is. Where are all the Jai Courtney t-shirts? I'm asking for Jai Courtney t-shirts. I should really just go hang myself. But honestly, if I could find a Jai Courtney Captain Boomerang t-shirt, I would get one. At Comic Con, I got all these Harley Quinn shirts. With hey, I mean, it's just awesome that they're actually putting out merchandise for Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I like that. But let's talk about Suicide Squad. The fact that this movie is getting such a low score on Rotten Tomatoes just baffles my mind.
Yet again, I remember a different way. I just don't understand how, after 3 viewings, you found less and less wrong with it, and you didn't justify any of it. Well, you did, but it was only because you had a blast with the movie. I think it takes more than that just to overlook its huge flaws. What the fuck, man?
I can see why it has a low score like it does on Rotten Tomatoes. I can see why it has that score. So for the critics, because cause trust me, I can nail into this movie heavily. But Suicide Squad, I really enjoyed the film. This is a film that I think gets better with each viewing. I just enjoy it. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the chemistry between the characters. I can see why it has a low score like it does on Rotten Tomatoes. I can see why it has that score. So for the critics, because cause trust me, I can nail into this movie heavily. A lot of people, I'm watching some reviews where people are nitpicking certain things like, well, when Captain Boomerang leaves, why does he come back? I mean, look, you can nitpick it, but the way I look at stuff like this is a movie that I liked, but this was not a good movie. That is, these guys created a bond, okay? They are criminals, sure, but they have a code. They have respect for one another. And I feel when they were leaving that he was like, I'm not gonna let my friends go do this themselves. A lot of stuff's implied where you either believe it or you don't. I really like this movie a lot, and I really would like to do um, a discussion with someone about this movie because when I did my review with Adam, I only seen it once at that point, and it was still fresh in my mind. Didn't see it in the second and then third time. This is a movie that I enjoy more and more each time I see it. And
It would really help if you actually went into way more detail of why you liked it after the second viewing and the third viewing. More than just you had a blast with the movie. I mean, you could have fun with a movie that's really shitty, don't get me wrong. But you have to justify why you had this so much fun with the movie, regardless of its flaws.
I actually want to go see it a couple more times. But I really, really enjoyed this movie. Jared Leto's Joker is really growing on me. I'm like the way Heath Ledger was when I was just quoting Heath Ledger. I'm doing the same thing with Jared Leto. I'll, all kinds of stuff. The stuff he says, I just like. Not like the Joker. Not that I did not like Jared Leto, and my wife has totally different opposite opinion on me on this. I didn't like the Joker. They made the Joker look like the Godfather. Like, you come to me, you kiss my rings. You come to me with a problem. That was the way Jared Leto played the Joker. It didn't feel like the Joker. It felt like he's this big ass mafia fucking pimp gangster. And I did not like that at all. Did not like that version of the Joker at all. The movie is very quotable from everybody. I enjoy the film. I enjoy the characters. I just think it's by far the best DCEU movie to come out. I think it's better than Man of Steel, better than Batman v Superman. Even though I think Man of Steel is a better put together film, I think Suicide Squad is the overall better film. And if they can just keep up this type of momentum going forward, hopefully we get some better films from the DCEU and Warner Brothers in the future. This is a movie that I liked, but this was not a good movie. But I love these characters. I would love to see these characters come back again and get a second film, and maybe this time David Ayer have more than 6 weeks to put a script together. But I think what he did with the time that he had to do it, I think he did good job. One thing that still bothers me, and it gets worse every time I see it, is the Flash cameo in this movie. The costume looks like ass. How does CW have a lower budget and a better costume than this? When I first seen pics online leaked, I'm like, I'm not gonna judge it. It's a picture. I want to see the emotion. And I seen this thing 3 times every time I go and see this movie, and it just looks awful each time I see it. If a CW TV show has a better costume than you, there's something wrong. You guys gotta fix that. That costume looks like ass. He looks like he's doing cosplay and a not very good cosplay. Okay, if I seen that cosplay at a convention, I wouldn't be asking for that picture. I don't think so. It just doesn't look good. So that's my thoughts. Suicide Squad, third time I've seen it. I do think this movie that gets better each time you see it. I enjoyed it. I think it's probably my favorite movie this year, but we still have Doctor Strange and Star Wars coming out that I'm really looking forward to. So we'll see how it stacks up against those movies. Not the best movie of the year, but definitely one of my favorite. So if you've seen Suicide Squad yet, be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Until next time, guys, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.
I know I didn't do that much commentary on this particular video. I just let his previous video do the talking for me, and maybe it is true that he actually liked the movie more and more the more times he's seen it, but he really needs to justify way more than that he just had a blast when he completely just ripped a new one on his previous review. He should really probably title that his first impressions video instead of a review, because he just lays into the film pretty hard. And when you see this video compared to that, it really comes off that he's a complete and utter hypocrite. I just don't see how he justifies his viewing, experience being better just because he saw it more. And he just justifies it by he just had a blast. So, more content from me coming soon. Rate, comment, and subscribe.